Hello, everyone. Well, today is Judgment Day. For anybody who's been following the channel and anybody new, I have been working really hard to get promoted out of the Master 2 division and into the Master 1 division. As it stood yesterday, it looked like my ELO was good enough to get promoted, and we are about to find out what the actual result was. So let's see what happened. The week is over, and this looks good. I have just been promoted into the Master 1 division. I finished fourth place at an ELO of 943. I'm extremely excited to see that. I'm very happy to see that. I don't really know what else to think. I'm a little bit nervous to get in and play some duels today. I don't know what to expect. The maps last week were extremely hard. I would expect them to be hard this week. I would expect the competition to also be a lot more stiff in this division. So as much as I've been practicing, it's probably not enough. I'd be curious to see if I can sustain the Master 1, but for now, I am very happy that I was able to get a promotion last week, and I'm looking forward to competing in this division this week. So let's get into the first duel ever on the channel in Master 1 and see what this looks like. All right, we got the first opponent of the day here. Pretty evenly matched, I would say. I think with Kara, this is Kazakhstan or something, I would think, right? I don't like this yellow line, but I wouldn't say those license plates look European. I think I gotta go Kazakhstan on this one with the white truck. Yeah, let's see. The other player also goes in Kazakhstan and had a much better guess as to where they were. That's going to do a massive chunk of damage to me despite having the right country. Okay, beautiful looking place here. I'm thinking Switzerland or Austria. Italy. But this bollard here. Do feel it's kind of low cam. The Italian Alps, perhaps. Can I get anything? I do kind of see the blue on either side. I'm gonna go in the north of Italy here. The other person does exactly the same thing. It was the Italian Alps. It was way out west. I able to do some damage here to the opponent. We are driving on the right. This truck here, the sun is in the south. This has got to be kind of having a... the sun, where is that? Is in the south. Got to go in the Middle East. Oman, perhaps. The other person goes in Oman as well. I luckily had a very good guess. Got crap cam here. That looks, I mean, it could be Cambodian or Indian. I think with the camera, it should likely be more Indian, but... The player is fire sending. I'm not sure where to go here. I think I'd just, without having much else to go on. The other person goes in Thailand. Yep, much better guess. Excuse me, that was Cambodia. That also could have been an option. I just wasn't prepared for that. Could be Someone's in the north. The blue license plate. This could be Brazil. Another person goes Brazil as well. Okay, it was Brazil, just further south. It's going to do a little bit of damage. Multiplier's on here. Not doing too hot this first round. Driving on the left here. These look like oil palms. It's going to be North Sumatra or Malaysia. Probably could be over here too. I'm going to go ahead and do this Indonesia idea. The other person also does Indonesia. And okay, it was way further east. Looks like it was Indonesia, though. Sun is in the north. Blue-white car. The person evidently knows where we are. I unfortunately have to go Brazil again, maybe up this way. The other person also goes in Brazil. Okay, I had it almost spot on. It's going to do a nice chunk of damage there. Formidable opponent. They're very good. This is probably Spain. Not sure if they have the blue and the white. I know for sure they got this yellow, though. What are we thinking here? I'm just going to go smack dab in the middle unless this player knows right where they are. Okay, and it was further southeast. It's going to do some tiny chunk of damage. Pretty much broke even on that one. Driving on the left here. I saw some English, so this is a guy getting zapped. I think this is the UK. Is that Ireland? This is Ireland. I don't see yellow on the back. I think this is Irish. I'm going to have to trust my gut on that one. I'm not entirely certain, but I'm going to have to go Ireland here. The other person goes in the UK. Okay, and it was the UK. That's going to kick me out of the game. Good game. So losing the first game here in Master 1, no problem. Of course, already close to being demoted. Yeah, I mean, that was kind of what I was expecting out of this Master 1. Just a lot more of that that rural map. It came down to a few bad decisions that I made there. I mean, I took it into, what was that, the 8th or the 9th round with that opponent. So, I mean, not too bad. I'm not complaining too much. I'm going to get into another duel here. Let's hope that I could catch my first victory here. Looks like this guy hasn't played yet. Awesome looking avatar. We're going to wait for good luck regardless. Probably going to need it. Right away, this is Kazakhstan. I don't know where you see the snow coverage in Kazakhstan, so I'm just going to place it kind of, I should just place it really in the middle. I'm going to go about as close to the middle as I can. The person goes in the south of Kazakhstan. It was the southeast of Kazakhstan. That's going to do some damage to me. See this haziness, blurriness. I'm thinking India right away. See these mountains in the distance, though. I can't tell really. See if we can gather anything. I see these big palms. I mean, it could be anywhere. Thinking probably center, kind of center south. I'm just going to go right here. Not exactly sure where we see mountains like that in India. If this is India, the other person goes in the north of India, and it was the south of India. Okay, very good. It's able to do a nice chunk of damage here. There's some rural area here. I don't like the camera quality. It is kind of low, very blurry. I'm not sure where we see this. I'm thinking Europe. I'm just going to go ahead and put this in France. The other person does exactly the same thing. It was actually in the UK on the East Coast there. I'm going to do some damage to this opponent. Birch trees. I don't see a car. I see this very big mountain over here. Kind of has me believing this could be Norway. I was thinking US, and then I see this car. I do see the blue car here. I'm going to go Norway because this looks more European to me. I'm going to go ahead and place the pin in Norway, see what happens. The other person does Norway, and surprisingly was actually in France. I'm not sure if we even see that car meta in Norway, but it's close enough. The other person was had the same guess as I did. I see this flag. Where do we see that? It's probably a European thing. It's probably maybe a Bulgarian thing. I mean, I could totally see this being Europe. Kind of in this area here. Go for Bulgaria. The other person sees it as well. This was Romania. Tiny chunk of damage to me with the multiplier. Now we got blue car with antenna. A lot of birch trees. Finland. Again, I'm not sure what the Scandinavian countries. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't really know if we see this in like Canada, like this exact car, or US. Not sure what that is. I gotta go. I just gotta go with Finland. I think it's probably my best bet considering the information I'm seeing here. Another person goes in the south of Finland. It was Sweden. Nice chunk of damage to me. Should be Italy. This is definitely Italy. Trying to think of where. Maybe in the. There's mountains all over the place. These don't look alpine to me. Maybe it could be down in this chunk of. I mean, there's a bunch of mountains here. I don't know if I go further south. Forley, I don't recognize those names. Yeah, I mean, it could be anywhere in Italy. Probably somewhere in the middle is going to be my best guess here. The person goes further north. It looks like we kind of split the difference there, but I'm able to do some damage with the multiplier. Not too bad. The concrete road with the yellow line. This looks Thai to me. can't really tell what side of the road we're driving on, but these don't look... Yeah, this is definitely Thailand. Oil palms as well. Kind of wondering if this puts us in Thailand down here, closer to Malaysia. This would be a very risky commit, though, if I do go Thailand in this area. I don't know if it's up here or not. I mean, these oil palms, though, it reminds me of Malaysia. Let's do it. I'm going to full send this one. If I lose, I lose. But, I mean, I think I got to take a risk here if I have that feeling. The other person goes further north. Wow. Okay, that was excellent. That is not enough to knock the player out of the game, but, I mean, I did see that. I'm happy I went with my gut on that. Here we are, blue car. Extremely sandy soil. Blue bollard. This is Australia. Don't know where we see that blue. I'm going to do Western Australia here. I can't tell if it's further here, maybe South Australia or Northern Territory. I'm going to go Western, though. That's kind of where my head was. Okay, and it was Western Australia. That should be enough to knock this player out of the game. So there it is, everybody. I mean, there's my first win in Master 1 Division. Feeling pretty good about that. See what it does at a rating. That player was, they didn't even have a rating. Plus 18. Very good. I'm still going to be demoted according to my ELO, but I'll take the victory. So I lost one, I won one. Let's do another one here. See if I can get another victory and get me back up into the middle of the pack here. I don't want to be demoted back to Master 2 just yet, but let's get to work on a third game here. Very good-looking opponent, over 1,000 on the ELO. I would expect this to be very hard. Probably the highest-rated player I've ever played. This should be South Africa or maybe Botswana. Not sure what this car meta is here. Is there any part of bots that looks like this? This is kind of green up here. I'm not sure if this is South Africa. I've never seen a car like this in South Africa, but let's go ahead and do bots. The other person goes Namibia. Okay, and it was actually was South Africa. Both of us were way wrong on that, but somehow I come out ahead. Let's see these kind of birch trees. I can't tell what that license plate is. I can't really tell what this car is. I think Finland in some parts has this like Gen 2 camera. I'm going to go Finland. The other person goes in Sweden. Okay, it was Norway, so both of us were wrong on the country again, but that's going to do a ton of damage to me. This should be Argentina. Polls like that. Yeah. Maybe up by Cordoba this way, possibility. The person goes further south. Okay, I nailed the region. Very good region guess. It's going to do a nice chunk of damage to this opponent. Perhaps is Malaysia. Should know that poll by now. Is it a Sarawak poll? Kind of just going out on a limb here. The other person goes the same spot. Okay, and it looks like it was. All right. Somehow doing some damage here again. A little remote area of Malaysia here. here we are in India. Maybe Nepal. Bhutan. I gotta go up in Nepal actually for this one. The person goes in India, and it was Nepal. The multiplier stacking up, 16, almost 1,700 points. Very good. Very flat. It should be Hungary. I can't read that language at all. I'm going to go Hungary. Weird poll. This is like Kaliningrad. I'd be surprised. The other person goes in Romania. It was Romania. Massive chunk of damage to me there. Okay, well, France, UK, Ireland. And they're just fire sending. Let me see if I can find any information. Might as well just go in the UK, which I would deem to be in the middle of all of those options that I think this might be. Let's try. Another person goes UK as well, and it was France, I think. And I wish I plonked it there. I mean, that would have been excellent, but this ought to be the United States. Can't tell where the sun is. Probably in the south. Yeah, I'm going to go somewhere like in the Midwest. I'm going to go like Wisconsin. This is a terrible guess. I should not have done that. Yeah, actually, it was ended up being Virginia. Keeps me in the game, though. I wish I went, should have went over here. This could be Spain. Yeah, I think I just got to do Spain. The other person goes in Bulgaria. Yeah, I mean, it was Greece. I don't think anything I could do there. Good game, though. I mean, that wasn't too bad. I mean, much higher rated player. I think I had a few opportunities to knock the player out of the game, but it does work like that sometimes. Not going to do too much damage to me on my elo. I'm still kind of going further down. All right, so I lost 2 games. I don't really think I'm playing too bad in any of the games. I do want to get like at least one more victory here. I think I could get one. I don't want to drop down too far into Master 1. But I think a victory would be pretty nice. Let's do a 4th game today. Okay, we got a more evenly matched player here, I would say. I'm going to wait for good luck. Immediately confronted with this. Sun does absolutely no help. I mean, I see this kind of blue car. I'm going to go Mexico here. I've seen this stuff before in Mexico. I don't know if this is going to be Mexico. The other person thinks the same. Actually was the Yucatan, so very good. It was Mexico. Sun is apparently in the north. Don't know what to think of this. I don't see like yellow road lines anywhere. Can this be like the north of Chile, maybe? The person goes in the U.S. Oh, wow, okay. It was the south of Peru, doing a massive chunk of damage. I'll take that. This ought to be Europe. wood poles. Where do we see wood poles in Europe like this? I mean, France. I don't like France as a guess here. The other person does France too. Okay, and it was actually Croatia. It's going to do some damage to me. I don't see anything in terms of a car meta. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure I can place myself in Europe. I don't feel comfortable with it. The other person does the U.S. as well. Wow, okay. It was Italy somehow. Both of us went to U.S. I'm gonna wave to him. This ought to be Vietnam or Cambodia. Can't read that. Looks like we are driving on the right. Vietnam or Cambodia. I mean, I guess I'm going to go with Vietnam on this poll. I didn't see what language this was over here. The other person goes in Bangladesh, and it was Vietnam. That's going to do enough damage to knock the player out of the game. Very good. Okay, so I'm able to win a game here. Another game. I got 2 victories in Master 1 so far. Is that going to do enough to get me back up into, like, 26th spot? Nope, it's not. Only gets me back to being the first person demoted if I were to keep this rating for next week. So, all right, not too bad. I mean, I won 50% of my games. I won 2 of them. I'm just happy to be at Master 1 and playing, and actually playing what I think is pretty well. I mean, both of the losses that I had, I mean, outside of a couple bad guesses, I think were quality losses. I know that the ELO doesn't care about that, and the demotion doesn't care about that, but I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with these opponents. I'm not flustered. I think I'm doing good. So I'm gonna shut it down there on a high note. At least I won, and I'll be back tomorrow with some more duels. I got to do a lot of studying.